Good afternoon, sports fans. Welcome to another edition of Sportsmemo's Pro Football Forecast. My friends, we're going to be coming at you every Friday afternoon during the Pro Football campaign, bringing you tons of free winners, amazing betting insights, and a few laughs, too, from some of Sportsmemo's documented leaderboard fixtures. So grab that helmet, lace up those cleats, get ready to make some money in the NFL this weekend. We've got a great panel today. Amazing panel. Let's get this good-looking bunch on if we can. Joining us today, the Southern Assassin, Rocky Atkinson, one of the sharpest minds in sports betting today, Eric Pauly, and very shortly, our good buddy, Moneyline Matt, best smile in the business. He's going to be joining in. He's on his way to the studio. I got to tell you, he's probably doing a toothpaste commercial. That's why he's late. I love him, but he will be here shortly. Let me just start very quickly. Rocky, how are you today, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing good, Joe.
God, usually our producer mutes my voice. It's so annoying. Rocky, it's always a pleasure to share a panel with you. Not only are you one of my favorite people in the world, you're one of the most successful, documented handicappers in the history of this business. And I'm very honored to finish off the week with you on the granddaddy of all our Sportsmemo TV shows. Our good buddy, Eric Pauly, guys. I love doing a show with Eric Pauly. You know, about 3 months ago when Eric came over to the handicapping side of Sportsmemo, because you're all familiar with him because he wrote those amazing columns and articles and those insights. He hit the ground running, and every time I share a panel with him, I get smarter sports betting-wise. Eric, how are you today?
Doing great, Joe. Hit the Colts plus 3.5 last night. So, hopefully taking that momentum into the Sunday for week 5 this year.
I got to tell you, Eric, knowing you're going to carry it in, not just to the weekend, but to the new year about in January, because you are phenomenal. I love you. Guys, like I said, Moneyline Matt will be here shortly. A couple of quickies for you before we go into our roundtable games and our best bet segment. And guys, I'm married for 22 years. I love an afternoon quickie. Let me tell you what's going on. We want you to hit that subscribe button, because when you do, you'll be alerted when each of Sportsmemo TV shows are going to go. Real quick, we have the first Family of Las Vegas show Monday through Thursday morning. We have new guests to Sportsmemo TV starting on Monday, so you don't want to miss that. The MLB Full Count show comes to you depending on the playoff schedule, and each week we're going to make you aware of when the show will be airing, but that's going to be coming to you through the World Series. Tuesdays and Thursdays, our good buddy Dan Alexander, he does the Sports Memo Today show. Thursday afternoons, we do the College Football Forecast. Friday mornings, the newest hit on the Sports Memo TV brand, the Family Affair show. And Friday afternoon, the granddaddy of them all, we close out the week with this NFL Pro Football, the Pro Football Forecast. So, guys, make sure to hit that subscribe button, because you don't want to miss any of sports betting content here at Sports Memo TV. And, guys, real quick, and once again, I just love saying quickie. Every successful sports bettor and sports handicapper I know use the Gold Sheet. It's the oldest and most respected of all the betting publications. So after this show, go over to www.goldsheet.com and use what the pros use. We'll also have some graphics during this show. You'll see they're courtesy of our good friends over at the Gold Sheet. I love them. I've been using them for years. Big reason why I'm a documented winner. Guys, real quick, the customer appreciation over at Sports Memo unrivaled. We know they're saving you money just as good as making you money. And right now, over at www.sportsmemo.com. After the show, go over there, take advantage of those amazing discounts. We have a special one this week. We have a $10 off any purchase of $25 or more. Use the code MEMO10 upon checkout. And every day, go over to the deals page. I'm surprised sometimes. I check it out. I have a discount that the crew over in Detroit, the supporting cast here at Sportsmemo, didn't even tell me about. Go over to the deals page. Each and every day, some of your favorite cappers will have some amazing deals. You don't want to miss that. Before we get into any free plays, some pro football line movements this week from our good friends at the Superbook at the Westgate Hotel and Casino. Guys, it's my favorite place to go bet a game. I got to tell you, whether you live in Southern Nevada or you're just visiting, if you're a sports fan, it is your one-stop sports betting shop. I go there just to watch games. I love it. Plus, I'm lucky there, and they treat me like gold. They'll treat you like gold, too. You know, each week when the lines come out, obviously the lines move. They move because the general public moves them, weather, injuries, etc. But these two specific line movements this week that I'm going to tell you about in the NFL moved by the sharp money, the wise guys, the smart money movers here in Southern Nevada. We wanted to make you aware of it. The Eagles opened up 4, went to 5 minus some juice, or even 5.5 around town. That's all the smart money. And the Patriots, 3 up to 3.5 minus a little bit of juice too. You know, it's on those hot numbers. I'm surprised they don't buy that back down, but maybe they will. Guys, I just wanted to make you aware of those real quick. So our good friend Moneyline Matt will be here shortly. So having said all that, we have 3 great roundtable games. good thing. It's very fortuitous, Chris, that Moneyline Matt isn't in the first round. Guys, our first round table game, two teams many thought would be division leaders. After 1 month in the books, both are sitting at 500 at 2-2. Last year's meeting, a barn burner, 89 combined points. We're talking Chargers at Browns, 1 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. Currently, Los Angeles -2.5. Total 47. Let's go to the Southern Assassin himself, Rocky Atkinson. Rocky, it's all you, buddy.
Thank you, Joe. Yeah, like you said, both of these teams come in with identical 2-2 straight up overall records on the season. We have the Chargers with a pass-happy offense, averaging 307.2 passing yards per game. Their rushing attack hasn't been good at all. They're only averaging 64.5 yards per game on the ground. Cleveland, on the other hand, has a very good rushing game, averaging 187.2 yards per game on the ground this season, but they're only averaging 197.5 yards per game passing. So I think the question here is going to be which defense can stop the strength of their opponent's offense here in this one. The Chargers, they're allowing 27 points per game overall, 25.5 points per game on the road, and 29.7 points per game the last 3 games overall. The Chargers are 10-24 to spread the last 35 games after scoring 30 or more points. The Chargers are 2-5 against spread the last 7 games after a straight up win. Cleveland is scoring 26.3 points per game overall this year, 29.5 points per game at home this season. The Chargers are 2-6 against spread the last 8 meetings in this series, and the underdog is 7-1 against spread last 8 meetings between these two teams. I think taking the points with the home dog here with a solid ground attack is the way to go. Not a game I love by any means, but I'm going to recommend a small play on Cleveland plus the points in this one. Mike, Joe.
Sports fans, the Southern Assassin wanted down south for killing bookmakers. He says a small lean on the Browns. Great stuff by Rocky, perennial leaderboard fixture over at Sportsmemo. We want to welcome real quick our buddy Moneyline Matt. He is in the house. We love Matt. He was late. He was shooting a Colgate commercial. He's got that diamond smile. I love him. You love him. Guys, we're going to go over to Eric Pauly. He's going to be batting second in this first round. Eric is one of the sharpest minds in sports betting today. He writes some of the best columns I've ever read, and I've seen them come and go all over the years. And he hit the ground running over at Sportsmemo. Had a big winner last night on the Thursday night NFL game. Let's get Eric's take on the Chargers at Browns. 1 o'clock Eastern time, Sunday, LA, 2.5, 47. Eric, it's all you.
Yeah, so thank you for that, Joe. I'm going to take the same angle that Rocky took for this matchup. So if you caught the Bettor's Almanac inaugural podcast that was out on Sportsmemo Podcast as well as the Sportsmemo YouTube channel, this is one of the games that Matt and I covered on that show. And a lot of the things that Rocky outlined are things that I'm going to reiterate because I think that's some of the real edges that you're going to find in this matchup. So the Chargers are coming off that win against Houston, but something that showed me that is, undeniable at this point is that the Chargers are a one-dimensional offense. They're 6th in passing DVOA this season, but they're 30th in rushing DVOA. And last week against the 29th ranked rushing defense in the Houston Texans, Eckler only amassed 30 yards on the ground. Now they're playing the Browns, who are actually the 30th ranked run defense. So they're actually playing a worse run defense, but a better coached as well as more talented team. So I think that the strength of the fact that though the Browns' weakness is in defending the run, the Chargers are still not going to be able to establish that ground game. I think Stefanski knows that. He's going to allow Herbert to complete a bunch of passes across the middle of the field and maybe rack up some yardage. But as long as you're not scoring touchdowns in the red zone, you can live with allowing a lot of yards. LA defensively, man, they were supposed to be really good based on these acquisitions they made. It has not panned out whatsoever. No Bosa is huge. No Slater is huge on offense, but going back to the defense, they're 30th in points allowed, 20th in total yards allowed, 31st in rushing yards per attempt, 21st in third down defense, and they allow 6.8 yards per carry to running backs. And guess what Cleveland does? They pound the rock down teams' throats. This is a Cleveland team that runs the ball at 53% of the time. They lead the league in possessions, yards, and first downs on possession. So when they get the football, they're handing it to Mr. Nick Chubb, and they're just chewing 4, 5, 6 yards at a time. And clock, precious game time that goes over there. Brissett does not get sacked in Cleveland. One of the things that kind of scares me from them is that while they've scored 105 points so far, a lot of them have come in the second and fourth quarters. They actually allow most of their points in the fourth quarter. So the team has to learn how to close out games better. But just considering matchups here, the way that the Browns can control the clock, run the football, and basically kind of hold the Chargers to, again, this might be a higher scoring game. This total sitting at like 48, 47 and a half. So I could see it going that way. But I think the matchup actually favors Cleveland, especially considering the fact that the Chargers have been playing in domes and in beautiful weather so far to start this year. It's going to be nice in Cleveland on Sunday, not too crazy, but I think that those are some factors you cannot ignore. Despite the fact that the Browns are not great on the run defensively, I still think that the Chargers are going to be unable to get that run game going. I don't have Cleveland on the points, but I have them in a teaser that was paired with the Colts +9 last night. I have the Browns +9. That number's ready to come down, which makes me more confident. I'm definitely looking at the move for this game is definitely something to do with taking Cleveland and adding some points to that total.
Sports fans, did I tell you he was sharp, or did I tell you some of the best betting insights I've ever experienced? Eric, Pauly, great stuff. He's on the Browns too. Guys, had a big winner last night. He's going to go through the weekend making you money. After the show, go check out Eric. Guys, I'm going to bet third on this first round table game. So put the cotton in your ears because I'm excited about this game. I'm not as excited as Rocky and Eric were. Let's see if I agree with them or I contradict and go against the grain. My friends, just like me, I'm going to keep this analysis very short and extremely sweet. If you don't believe me, just ask my wife how very short and how extremely sweet I really am, guys. In the Chargers, you've got an offense that tops the NFL in passing. In the Browns, you've got a unit that's one of the best at rushing the ball, ranking second in the league. They average over 187 yards per game on the ground. The game plan here for the home team Cleveland squad, a heavy dose of Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. While without question, I definitely give the quarterback edge to Justin Herbert over Jacoby Brissett. I really don't think you're going to see the Browns quarterback try to trade touchdown passes with his counterpart here. Cleveland will keep the ball on the ground, as Eric and Rocky mentioned. They're going to keep the ball on the ground, and pound it, trying to wear away the LA defense, which I don't think is going to be a tough job here. They're missing some key cogs in the wheel. The Chargers don't have the luxury of a running game themselves. They rank dead last in the league, rushing for a mere 64.5 a game. So Cleveland's going to take away their edge by controlling the clock and keeping the LA potent passing attack on the sidelines. I look for the Browns to get a big home win here. One thing I think we can all agree about the Chargers, they're not very consistent. They don't seem to string together consistent performances as a team. You really don't. You don't see them do solid back-to-back performances. And that's another reason why I like the Browns to win this game outright. But taking the points here for me is a gift. So, guys, the first round, Rocky, Eric, and Joe D. Sounds like a boy band. All like the Browns. Very excited about that. We are excited about our second roundtable game. My friends, this is an interesting matchup consisting of the NFL's last remaining undefeated team. But, and you all know how much I like a very big but the Eagles are 0-5 against the spread the last 5 games played at State Farm Stadium. I'm interested to see what one of the smartest guys in the NFL realm today has got to say about this. Let's lead away with Moneyline Matt. Moneyline Matt, Eagles at Cardinals, 4:25 Eastern Time Sunday. Philly -5 with a little bit of juice. Total of 49. Take it away, Matt.
All right, Joe. I appreciate you teeing me up there because this is one of those games that I am really looking forward to this weekend. And I think the way I'm looking at it might be a little different than the majority of the people because right now the Philadelphia Eagles are the only remaining undefeated team throughout the NFL. They're 4-0 and really haven't had a close game or a close spread since week 1 against the Detroit Lions. And if you recall watching that game, it really wasn't that close. Detroit backdoor covered it. Philadelphia was in control the entire game. And now they go into Arizona to face off against the Cardinals. Last week, this Philadelphia Eagle team beat the Jacksonville Jaguars at home, went down 14-0. So a little adversity, a little bit of an emotional win at home. Now they're going across the country. And I'm with the Cardinals here. I really am with the Cardinals. I think this is one of those perfect letdown spots for the Philadelphia Eagles. Maybe not to lose the game, but to finally have a close game again in Arizona. I think Kyler Murray has a big game here. One thing with the Philadelphia Eagles is they've played 4 games this season. All 4 games have been against pro-style quarterbacks. This will be the first game of the season that they go against a quarterback who can extend the play with his legs. And as we know, Kyler Murray is very different as well. He can see that edge rusher, Hassan Reddick, very quick first step, likes to just bull rush, come off as fast as he can off the edge. Kyler Murray can step up, hit that gap, roll to the outside, and make plays. Someone who is going to also be essential in this game is Marquise Brown. Marquise Brown and Kyler Murray have developed a hell of a connection throughout this season, and he's someone with Avonte Maddox is due to miss, who is the Eagles' third corner. Darius Slay is a little banged up, but due to play. But because of the injuries that are throughout the Philadelphia Eagles secondary, I think Marquise Brown could have a good day. And then in addition to that, you got Zach Ertz, who likes to sit down in those zones, catch it right in it, run after the catch, stuff like that. So this is just one of those games where I'm really liking the Arizona Cardinals. I think the Eagles are due for a letdown here. I think they're due for a close game. And one thing with Arizona as well, they've started very slow in a lot of their football games. I think that's going to be a point of emphasis in week 5. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Arizona Cardinals are even leading by halftime and the Philadelphia Eagles have to play catch up. I like the Arizona Cardinals here at plus 5.5. JJ Watt is also fully healthy once again, coming off that edge. And one thing that's very interesting is you even look at that of TJ Watt. TJ Watt and the Pittsburgh Steelers, their win percentage is somewhere in the vicinity of 30% when TJ Watt is not on the field, and around 55% when he is on the field. I love that JJ Watt is fully healthy again. He's plugged back in with that defense. He hasn't had a sack all year. I like him to get a sack in this game. I like him to get a tip pass, something along those lines, create that turnover. So once again, I like the Arizona Cardinals at plus 5.5. And I think they're live dogs on top of it. I know people are going to say I'm crazy, but I do. I believe the Cardinals are live dogs in this game.
Great stuff, guys. I've been doing this for longer than he's been alive, and I've worked with the biggest names in the business. And I will put Moneyline Matt's betting analysis right there with the best in the history of this business. Such great insight, such great angles. And I want you to know, guys, I make notes. I got stuff all over this. This looks like a rewrite for the Titanic. I will tell around my office. Moneyline Matt does this without a net. One of the sharpest guys I've ever seen. And, I got to tell you, he's really, really doing some great work at Sports Memo. Numbers don't lie. After the show, go follow Moneyline Matt. You're going to follow him to the bank. What does piss me off, guys, is this. And really, Moneyline Matt, Eric, and Rocky all have tons more hair than I do, and they're all wearing hats. Starting to piss me off, guys, trying to show me out. I love you guys. Guys, I'm going to take over the second spot in this second roundtable game, so put the cotton back in yours. Once again, I am excited. Guys, there's only one undefeated, as Matt mentioned, one undefeated team in the NFL, and that is the Philadelphia Eagles. You would think that after all, a full month of the season is in the books, a full month of the regular season is in the rear view, a team going 4-0, that they might be due for a letdown. But the Eagles are showing no signs of taking their foot off the gas, my friends. They have covered 3 straight games. Guys, this is a team which has seen their quarterback, Jalen Hurts, mature significantly coming into this season. You may not realize this. I had to double and triple check this stat myself, but this offense ranks 2nd in total yards per game, 6th in passing yards per game, 5th in rushing yards per game, and 4th in points scored. Not only do they have a very dangerous receiving core, but the legs of Miles Sanders and quarterback Hurts have combined for over 561 yards rushing and 7 TDs. Where? On the ground. Let's flip side it. Their D has played outstanding football. They rank in the top 10 in just about every major defensive category, and they lead the NFL in what? Turnovers. And guys, no matter what level, when you can create turnovers and you don't turn the ball over yourself, you're going to pile up victories. All right? This is just outstanding to me. They've grabbed 10 turnovers already. On the other hand, Arizona has been very typical this far. They lost to 2 teams that on paper they're better than that are better than them in Kansas City and LA, but they did beat 2 teams on paper once again that they should have beaten in Vegas and Carolina. They're struggling offensively. Kyler Murray, I'm not going to argue the fact that he's a very good athlete. He is an amazing athlete, but he's just not getting the job done. Neither is his supporting cast. And defensively, this team ranks 20th in the league, getting plowed for over 25.8 points per game. I look for them to get absolutely picked apart in the air by Hurts and his arsenal of receivers, Brown, Smith, and Goddard. I know Philly has failed to cover the last 5 meetings in Arizona, but these are 2 very different teams this season, guys. The Cardinals are one of the worst home teams in the league against the number, failing to cover 7 straight at State Farm Stadium. Not only that, but they're also 2-5 ATS the last 7 versus the NFC, 1-4 ATS the last 5 versus teams with a winning record, and 3-7 ATS the last 10 overall. I like the Eagles to what? To soar here, guys. Our producer Chris loves that, guys. So I'm going against Matt, but maybe we could bet a little bit of maybe a little fun bet, a dinner bet, or maybe if I win the bet, he could cut off his hair on his next haircut, mail it to me. I could crazy glue it to my head, guys. Don't go anywhere because the Southern Assassin, who, by the way, just to remind you, last year over 70% documented in the NFL, and that's not the first time he's done that. He's done that before. The Southern Assassin is going to bat cleanup on the second round game. Rocky Atkinson, Eagles at Cards, Philly -5, minus a little bit of juice, total 49. The floor is yours.
I get the break to tie here, huh? That's nice. Philadelphia, like you said, they're coming in 4-0 overall this year. Perfect record. Arizona 2-2 on the season. Arizona has won their 2 road games and lost their 2 home games. So I don't think they want to go 0-3 in front of their home fans this weekend. That'd be just absolutely terrible. This could be a season-changing game for them, in my opinion. Arizona 7-1 straight up and against the spread the last 3 years as an underdog, 3.5 to 9.5 points. Arizona's 8-2 straight up and against the spread the last 3 years when playing in October. Philadelphia 5-11-1 against the spread the last 17 games after an against the spread win. Philadelphia 0-5 against spread last 5 meetings in Arizona. Philadelphia is 1-7 against spread last 8 meetings overall in this series. And the home team is 8-3 against spread last 11 meetings here. I'm a side with Moneyline Matt here, and I'm going to recommend playing Arizona plus the points on Sunday. Mike, Joe.
My apologies. We jumped out and jumped in. Brings a little charisma and charm to the show. We had a little technical difficulty, but you know what? There's technical difficulties in the world. We overcome it. Rocky, I'm sorry that I came out. Can you just finish up your last point, please?
I think I just said that I recommended playing Arizona plus the points on Sunday.
Guys, Rocky Atkinson, the Southern Assassin, Arizona Cardinals. So it is a 2-on-1, a menage a trois on the round table. Game 2, Rocky and Matt. See, I got you laughing. These young guys, they love that dirty talk. Rocky and Matt both like the Cardinals. I'm going Eagles. Maybe we'll bet a little bit of dinner on them. Maybe, honestly, if I win the bet, I can get enough hair to cover my whole head. I'll bet them that hair. Guys, great stuff by Rocky Atkinson. Once again, my apologies. We still have a little bit of wind here in Vegas, but, you know, what can you do? Brings a little charm to the show. Don't go anywhere, guys. We've got our third round table game coming up. Then we've got our best bet segment. We might field a few questions. I've got a couple of grapefruits I want to throw our panel today. Our third round table game. You can leave the cotton out of your ears. I'm not going to take part of this one, guys. Final round table game will at least break the 3-way tie in the AFC North. Bengals, which have played to 9 consecutive unders, but Ravens games averaging just under 55 points per game this season. Something's got to give here in this division, guys. Bengals at Ravens, 8:20 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Sunday night. We call that the late bailout game because if you didn't make enough money over the week or the weekend, this game has to get you, although you got to pay your bookmaker on Tuesday. Guys, that's the old days. Baltimore, 3.5, total 48. Let's go to one of the sharpest guys in sports betting today. Eric Pauly, take it away, baby.
Yeah, so this is a fantastic Sunday night matchup. Obviously, prime time last Thursday. Yesterday, that Colts-Broncos game was horrible. Next Thursday, we're taking on the Commanders-Bears, which as a Commanders fan, I'm excited to watch, but might not be the most entertaining game. Rocky's a Commander fan as well. But looking at this matchup here, I think it's a great. We're in store for a great football game. So last season, the Cincinnati Bengals absolutely dismantled the Baltimore Ravens in those 2 meetings that they had last year. Baltimore let Wink Martindale go, their defensive coordinator, and they hired John McDonald from Michigan, and he's been doing a decent job. But the one issue that persisted from last year, which is maybe just from scheme, lack of talent, is their inability to stop the big passing game, which is what Cincinnati actually is the best at by far. Their run game is borderline non-existent. They'll feed Joe Mixon 30 times for about 3 yards a carry, but they really they have their successes when they're throwing the ball down the field. Looking at Baltimore this year, they're 32nd in the league in passing yards allowed, 20th in rushing yards allowed, and 25th in red zone defense. Their ability to force turnovers is huge, and that's the reason why the Ravens are able to stay in games. And this year, in their 2 losses, they've only trailed for 14 seconds in those games, yet they're 2-2 on the season, which shows really how good the Ravens are. Looking at Cincinnati, their offense is certainly their strength, and their defense has been putting up some great numbers, but I think it's really due to the fact that they've played a really, really bad schedule so far. They took on Mitch Trubisky, the Dakless Cowboys, and last week, and they beat the Jets, and then they beat the Dolphins after they lost Tua for that game. So I'm not impressed with the Bengals numbers. If you look at them, they're 11th in yards allowed, 7th in turnovers, 5th in rushing yards allowed, 7th in red zone D, 3rd in third down D. Great stats, but again, I'm not as impressed considering the level of competition they played at. The key to this game is Lamar Jackson. He's the key to the Baltimore Ravens in total. He is the absolute lifeblood of this team. And if it wasn't for Lamar's ability to turn potential negative plays into positive gains, that I don't even know where this Ravens team would be. But I think the real big thing for this game is that revenge factor. I think you cannot overlook the fact that the Bengals have been little brother to Baltimore for years. Finally, last year, the Bengals, stood up to them and were able to absolutely dismantle them in those 2 meetings this year. I think Baltimore knows that. I think coming into this game, Baltimore 0-2 at home wants to win at the bank. So I'm actually going to recommend taking the Ravens -3 if you're able to find a -3. Never like laying that hook on a favorite ever. So if you don't see that 3.5, if you're able to buy that down to a 3 at -120, -125, absolute max, I would like it. But certainly, look at all your options. Try to find that -3 around -110. And I would take the Ravens in this matchup on the spread.
Great stuff from Eric Pauly, who says, shop around, listen to Smokey Robinson's mama, shop that number around. He says he likes the Ravens -3. You can't get him at a 3. Buy it down in this situation. Great stuff, Eric. Always great stuff. We love you, buddy. I'm looking forward to your best bet in a few minutes. Now, guys, we're going to go over to Moneyline Matt, who, once again, guys, one of the sharpest minds in NFL today. Moneyline Matt. Bengals, Ravens, Baltimore, 3.5, 48. Take it away, kiddo.
All right. Well, honestly, I thought Eric's breakdown was spot on for that, and we just have a little difference at the end. So for me, again, it does come down to the Baltimore Ravens and their pass defense. I don't think this Baltimore Ravens team is going to be able to stop the Cincinnati Bengals and the receivers of T. Higgins, Jamar Chase, and Tyler Boyd. Joe Mixon in that run game, too, has been absolutely dreadful. I got to imagine that gets going at some point this season, and I think it might be this game in Baltimore. They need that play-action game going a little bit more. It helps to get that separation, helps to allow Jamar Chase to get off the line of scrimmage a little bit faster. So, again, I do think that's going to be a factor in this game, and it does for me. It comes down to, is it the 3 or is it the 3.5? 3.5, I'm sorry. The Baltimore Ravens being at home, already losing at home twice this season, there is definitely that ability to want to win at home. There's definitely that revenge factor as well, and what the Cincinnati Bengals did to this Baltimore team last year. So because of that, I would go with whatever team, if the Baltimore Ravens don't have that hook, I would go with the Ravens at 3. I have this as a 3-point game. If the Cincinnati Bengals are getting 3.5, then I'm going to take that 3.5 just for the pure fact that this Baltimore Ravens team has given up so many big plays. Yes, I understand the Cincinnati Bengals have not looked amazing, but the Ravens have just been giving up big chunk plays to almost everyone. They've struggled to get to the quarterback on top of that. They rank 19th at the NFL in sacks. And then on top of that, to Eric's point, when looking at those turnovers, the Baltimore Ravens are great at creating turnovers. But what happens if you don't create those turnovers? You can't count on those every single game. You got to get to the quarterback. And that's what's surprising as well, is the Ravens are ranked 19th throughout the NFL in sacks, but they're still creating a lot of turnovers. So at some point, I expect that to decline a little bit. It will level out. And that makes me like the Cincinnati Bengals here, as long as there is that hook. If I'm getting the hook there, I'm going with the Cincinnati Bengals. Again, kind of what Eric said, if I'm getting that straight 3, I'm sticking with the Baltimore Ravens, because it's very tough for me to see them losing at home once again, and that revenge factor on top of everything. And then, again, to Eric's point, when you have Lamar Jackson at quarterback, the dude just makes plays. He just finds a way to make plays, to keep the Baltimore Ravens within games. And it's tough seeing, either team really getting too far ahead. So, again, I see this as a 3-point game. If it's at 3, I'm siding with the Ravens. If it's a 3.5, I'm siding with the Bengals here.
Great betting insights from Moneyline Matt. That's the difference between a half a point in sports betting. He says 3, Ravens, 3.5, Bengals. Great stuff. We really do. Your analysis and your breakdowns are just amazing. I'm always in awe of them, Matt. Thank you for that. Guys, once again, we want to thank our good friends over at the Gold Sheet for those great graphics and stats. We want to thank our good producer, that great producer, Chris, in the back room, who you know, he takes that burden off me so I don't start messing it up by accident. 2 weeks ago, I went on Pornhub by accident. I messed everything up. Sorry, guys. But then again, now you know what I'm into. In any case, guys, let me run down the roundtable games real quick. On the first round, where we had Chargers at Browns, Rocky, Eric, and Joe D, great minds think alike, all said the Brownies. In the second round, Eagles at Cards. Moneyline Matt says Cardinals. Rocky Atkinson says Cardinals. Your sexy and savory host says the Eagles on the third round. You didn't have to put the cotton back in your ears, guys. I stood out away from this one. Eric Pauly says Ravens. Matt said, depending on the line, if you got the hook, one side. If you got the 3, the other. And that's great betting insight, guys. You know, that's the stuff you're going to learn from watching these documented winning cappers and analysts here at Sports Memo. You're going to get not just free winners and good content. You're going to get betting insights. You're going to get life lessons that you could use for the rest of your life. You really are. That's great stuff. Real quick, before we go into the best bet segment, just a thought, all right? This is a thinker. If me and D'Amico Ryans would get married, he would be known as D'Amico legally. Just a thought, guys. All right, guys. We're going to go into our round table, obviously our best bet segment. It's the most exciting portion of the show. Our first, batting up first on our round table is the Southern Assassin, Rocky Atkinson. Guys, he was documented last year at over 70% in the NFL. Not the first time he's done that. I always say you do something once, and you can be lucky. Do it more than once, and you're damn good. That's just what Rocky Atkinson is. He's damn good. You know, I've been working with Rocky for decades. I know. Me and him look young, but we've been around since we had more hair than Eric and Matt, I'll tell you that. And Rocky, every year, in every season, in every sport, he's always right there on the leaderboard. 70% is the white whale in this business. He's done it more than once. He's going to tell you what he's been doing. He's going to tell you about some premium stuff he's posted at Sportsmemo, and he's got a free best bet for you. Rocky, take it away.
Thank you, Joe. Yeah, 70% last year with all my NFL picks. And after the Colts win last night, I remained perfect in the NFL regular season this year. I do have 2 plays loaded up right now for Sunday, including my NFL game of the week that goes late afternoon on Sunday. Be sure to pick it up at sportsmemo.com. As far as a show best bet here, I'm looking at the Dallas LA Rams game. I'm looking to take the Rams minus the points in this one. Dallas comes in 3-1 overall. The Rams 2-2 overall in the season. Dallas is off an easy win over Washington 25-10, while the Rams lost to the 49ers 24-9. Dallas comes in with a better record so far this year. Cooper Rush has come in and did a pretty good job for this Cowboy offense. But this offense is ranked 26th overall in the league in total yards at 312.8 per game. The Rams' rushing attack has been terrible. They sit 30th in the league right now. However, they go up against a Dallas team that's ranked 27th in the league in rush defense, allowing 137.5 rush yards per game. Dallas is 1-5 straight up and against the spread the last 3 years against NFC West opponents. The Rams 13-3 straight up, 12-4 against the spread the last 3 years. After playing a division game, they're 5-2 against the spread the last 7 games after scoring 15 points or less in their previous game. They're 31-15-1 against the spread the last 47 games against NFC opponents. The favorite is 5-2 against the spread the last 7 meetings in this series. And the home team is 7-2 against the spread last 9 meetings overall in this series. I'm going to recommend playing the LA Rams minus the points on Sunday.
My friend Rocky Atkinson says, best bet for the Football Forecast show, the Rams. Guys, he is a winner. I told you, it's a white whale hitting 70% in the NFL. He's done it more than once. Go over after this show. Go to www.sportsmemo.com. Take advantage of the best customer appreciation discounts in this business. Follow Rocky. You're going to follow him to the bank. Guys, I love Rocky, you know, and we've been friends for years, and we became friends because I was such a big fan. I had respect for him all through the years, and we've been friends for many, many years. So I got to tell you, you follow him, you're going to follow him to the bank. Guys, I want to bat second on this best bet segment, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm very excited today, and I got to tell you, I'm excited not just because my good friend Dr. Chuck prescribe me some Viagra. I'm excited about what's going to happen this weekend in the NFL. Eric like that in the NFL. I come off my AFC total of the month winner last night. Colts Broncos. We're Johnny under for tonight. I already have another big game winner up. I have my Mountain West Conference moneymaker. I know it's a college football play for Friday, but I know you're watching the show. I want you to go into the weekend with a bankroll. I own the Mountain West, guys. I know this conference. I see it every day living in Vegas for 32 years. And I will tell you this. I know this conference. You will get another big winner from Joe D tonight. It's posted already at Sportsmemo. Now, I'm going to have a couple of games of the month this weekend posted in a few hours. You guys know that I work with a lot of the money-moving crews that I can almost predict line movements, and I'm waiting for a half a point or a point to come my way, and I will have several games of the month this weekend. Last weekend, I posted 2 games of the month on Saturday, college football, and guess what? 2-0. The best big game hunter on the planet is going to crush the books this week. Now, I want you to know, I'm going to have at least 1 game of the month on Saturday, at least 1 game of the month on Sunday, and Monday, I will tell you this, I will have something equivalent to a game of the year. We don't do games of the year here at Sportsmemo anymore. Something equivalent to a game of the year, and it's so strong I may put up as a 10% play, as you know, 16-1 in 2022 in 10% releases. There's an ideal time for you to take advantage of those great 3, 7, and 30-day discounts at Sportsmemo. If you follow me this weekend, not only will you follow me to the bank, you're going to own the friggin' bank. They'll name a fucking friggin' bank after you. A friggin' bank after you. We got to edit that out. I'm so excited about this weekend. Also, on a baseball note, I won again this morning. Had the Guardians 8-2 baseball run as one of the most successful postseason baseball handicappers in history of this business. Go grab it. I have one more baseball play. I can't believe I cursed on the air, Chris. I'm sorry. I'm just so excited, guys. I apologize. Let me go to my best bet. I'm in trouble now. Better ask for forgiveness than beg for permission. Guys, my best bet today, I am very excited about this too, and it still may make it up as a premium play over at Sportsmemo. For today's free winner, let's head on over to an NFC matchup between 2 teams that so far this season are underachieving. We're going to visit Bank of America Stadium. San Francisco 49ers take on the Carolina Panthers. Starting the season off 1-3, both straight up and against the spread. Shouldn't be too much of a shock for Carolina fans, guys. Let's be honest. I mean, if you recall, last year they finished the regular season, rattling off 7 consecutive losses, both straight up, and what? Against the number. Bringing in Mayfield was supposed to be the remedy for this team. However, Mayfield's quarterback rating, 30th, downright laughable. The offense averages a mere 19.5 a game, ranking 24th in rushing, 30th in passing, and dead last in total yardage. They must now go up against the San Francisco defense that has yet to allow an opponent to put up 20 points. That's right, 19 or less so far this season. The 49ers stop unit tops the league in both total yards and points allowed while ranking second against both the pass and the run. I see serious mismatches between these two squads, between the one offense and one defense here. Serious mismatches. Carolina has already coughed up the ball 6 times, while San Francisco has snagged 5 turnovers. No matter who is at the helm for the Panthers, I doubt very much they're going to be able to move the chains at all against this defense. On the flip side, he's Italian. That's why I love him. Jimmy Garoppolo. Certainly he's looked more comfortable at the helm. This past Monday, he led the team to a 24-9 winning cover over the Los Angeles Rams. Some key cogs in the 49ers offensive wheel are returning here as the entire offense is looking more and more in sync, more and more comfortable. And unbeknownst to many, this unit has a top 10 rushing attack. Throw into the mix playmaker extraordinaire Deebo Samuel, and things are starting to significantly improve in San Francisco. They will completely shut down the Carolina lack of offense while Garoppolo, Samuel, and George Kittle make their way down the field and into the end zone at will. They're going to score at will. The 49ers, guys, I'm going to tell you right now, 7-1 ATS the last 8 versus the NFC, 4-1 ATS the last 5 versus teams with a losing record, 7-2 ATS the last 9 overall. Under a touchdown is an early Christmas present. Take this game, stick it under the Christmas tree, it's a winner, put it in the stocking, take it to the bank. I'm telling you right now, by Monday, you're going to name your next born after me. Joey Loudmouth D'Amico, whatever your last name is, has a nice ring to it. Take it to the bank. I'm excited about this game. That's all I got. And that's all I got to say about that. My homage to Forrest Gump, Chris. Chris is in the back room going nuts. I'm very excited about this weekend, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, and this game might make it as a premium play. I know I get excited, but guys, I get to do this for a living, bring you great content, hang out with the most respected guys in the business, and talk about sports. Why shouldn't I be excited? And by the way, even at 53, I don't need a Viagra. I'm always excited. Let's go. Let's go to my good buddy, Eric Pauly. Guys, I brag about Eric a lot, even when we're not doing shows. I talk about it on the First Family Show regularly because, I loved Eric's writing and his analysis when he was writing columns for Wager Talk and Sports Memo. Such a big response from you out there Sportsmemo had to put him on as a handicapper, and he hit the ground running. He's killing it. Big winner last night. Big weekend ready for you guys. He's going to tell you what he's been doing. He's going to tell you what he's got coming up on the premium side this weekend at Sportsmemo, and he's got a free best bet. I'm excited for Eric, too. That doesn't make me have a crush on him, although he's really cute. He's going to tell you what he's got. Eric, take it away.
Oh, Joe, if only I can match that kind of energy. I know I'm the young guy, I should be able to have more energy, but Joe, you really are one of a kind, and that's why we all absolutely adore you. So thank you for everything. We're headed to the best bet, another play that Matt and I spoke about on the Bettor's Almanac, which is on Sports Memo Podcast, as well as the Sports Memo YouTube, is the Tennessee Titans to beat the Washington Commanders. And this is also another lesson into why you should be buying all access for, not myself, but for Joe, Rocky, and Matt, is because lines move in football. I was able to get this line yesterday, and this is a play that I have up for clients at Tennessee -1.5. That now it's sitting at 2 at a lot of shops, but if you're on all access, you have got that notification immediately and be able to lock that in. So I definitely recommend you utilize that for Joe, Matt, and Rocky. But looking at this game, so I'm a Commanders fan. If you do not know, now you know. And I have no problem betting against my team because it's kind of that reverse emotional hedge. If my bet against them wins, I make money. I'm happy. If the Commanders end up winning and I lost my bet, I'll survive. But this is a matchup where if you look at the X's and O's, these teams are very evenly matched, right? The Commanders look absolutely horrific, and they're 1-3, and there's embarrassing losses against the Cowboys and the Eagles. Were again just embarrassing, no other way to put it. But again, from X's and O's, the Titans, their run defense is great. The Commanders' run offense is poor, so the Commanders are going to look to throw the football because the Titans' pass defense is bad. On the other end, the Commanders' run defense is pretty good. The Titans' running is their offense, but they've actually been better in the passing game this year because Tannehill's not asked to throw that well. They're 9th in DVOA in passing this season in the entire National Football League. So I think you're going to be seeing a pretty ugly game of a lot of 3-and-outs, punts, a lot of field position battling. But that kind of game is bad for Washington, because Washington is one of the worst coached teams in the National Football League. And when it comes to a game that's about time management, possessions, burning clock, and making smart decisions to maintain and manage that clock, that is when coaching comes into play. Mike Vrabel won Coach of the Year last year, not just because the Titans were the 1 seed in the AFC, but because Mike Vrabel is one of the best coaches in the National Football League. Washington, Ron Rivera, he has been horrible in his tenure. If you've seen any interviews on Twitter lately about him, he is preaching things he was preaching 1,000 days ago, how this does not happen overnight. We are, still building. We got to figure out ways to do with the guys we have in this room. Dude, that is over with. It's been 3 years. This is a roster you handpicked and built yourself. I think he's lost the locker room a little bit. Washington's defense, so I want to mention, is actually a little bit playing better than you would think. They are actually, on some of these key metrics, they are first in average time drive, first in plays allowed, meaning that when they need quick stops, they're able to get 3-and-outs. The problem is the offense does them no favors, and they have the second worst starting field position on defense in the entire football league. Just going again, X's and O's, you're not going to see a big discrepancy there solely because these teams are pretty evenly matched and both in the middle of the pack, in my opinion, in power rankings. But given the one thing that really is going to make a difference here is coaching, and the Titans have a much bigger coaching edge. Washington, we're going to be seeing a 1-4 Washington team on Thursday night next week. I'm rolling with the Titans. I'm taking that 1.5. I'm a little suspect because that line was 2.5 basically all week, then shot to 1.5. Now sitting back at 2, meaning maybe some wise guy money came in on the Commanders. But I'm going with my eye test over the market. Of course, you respect the market, but this one, I'm going with the coaching. I'm going with the Titans.
Great stuff from Eric Pauly, guys. One of the sharpest guys in sports betting today. Coming off a big win last night. He says, Titans, he loves it, loves it, loves it. Guys, Eric Pauly's numbers, man, numbers don't lie. I got to tell you that. Eric Pauly's numbers speak for themselves. If you like his betting insights, and I know you do, go over to Sports Memo after the show. Go follow Eric. Take advantage of one of those 3, 7, or 30-day discounts. I'll tell you right now, whether you bet $5, $50, $500, or $5,000 a game, you follow Eric, they'll pay for itself in no time, and you'll come back for a longer stay. Great stuff, Eric. We're going to go over to our good buddy, Moneyline Matt. Moneyline Matt had a great reputation. He did a lot of shows before coming on the Sports Memo TV brand. And he's really well known in the NFL and in the UFC, MMA circles as one of the sharpest young guys in sports today. But his breakdowns, his analysis, they're unrivaled. I got to tell you, I told you before that I've been doing this for a lot longer than some of these guys have been alive. And I've worked with the biggest names in the industry. And I'll put Moneyline Matt's betting insights and angles right up there with the best of them. He's doing some good work over at Sportsmemo. He's going to tell you what he's been doing. He's going to tell you what he's got on the premium site coming up this weekend, and he's got a free best bet for you. Me, I'm going to go in the back room, and I'm going to apologize to our producer for saying the F-bomb 17 times to Chris. Chris, I love you. I'm sorry. Let's go to Moneyline Matt. He's got another free winner for you.
Hey, and as always, I do appreciate it, Joe. And big reason, though, to check out the First Family of Las Vegas every single Monday. My pick again on the First Family of Las Vegas was Colts plus 3.5. So I'm still undefeated on the show since week 1. Check out that show every single Monday, 11 a.m. Eastern time, and get some more free picks. But for me right now, I'm feeling really good heading into the week 5 card. I went 4-1 last week. I already have 6 plays loaded. And one thing that I do too, guys, is I package my plays. So I have a 3-game package for the 1 p.m. slot. And I'm going to have a 3-game package for the 4 p.m. slot as well. So if you're looking for multiple plays from either the 1 p.m. or the 4 p.m., and I'll check out the Sunday night football game. We'll see how I like that. But a lot of really good plays out there right now for myself and every single capper on this panel. So definitely go check that out. Feeling very good, seeing the slate very well right now. But for my best bet, okay, we are going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Buffalo Bills under 46.5 points, and here is why. So when looking at the Pittsburgh Steelers, their last 2 games, they're coming off that 24-20 loss at the hands of the New York Jets, and then they're coming off that 29-17 loss to the Cleveland Browns. As for the Buffalo Bills, their games have been somewhat lower scoring and maybe a little bit closer than a lot of people imagine. One was the Baltimore Ravens, that 23-20 win where they had to come back. And then they lost to the Dolphins 21-19 as well. So not scoring nearly as much as maybe we thought, but now they return home in Buffalo where you would think they would get things right. And real quick, I got to shout out my boy Ronald Kabang because I was looking at this throughout the week and it was a play that I really liked. And then he put up this stat on his Twitter. He puts up some great stuff on his Twitter if you want to check that out. But it's since 2018, a game with a line of at least 2 touchdowns is 30, 12, and 1 to the under. So I love writing the statistics. I love writing the odds. So this falls right into that place as well. The Buffalo Bills right now are 1-3 in terms of over-unders, while the Steelers are 2-2. And a lot of this to me does come down to the Pittsburgh Steelers. They're plugging in Kenny Pickett. He's starting for the team now. Not like Mitch Trubisky was doing all that much, but I do think Kenny Pickett is more prone to have bad turnovers. Say you get in Buffalo Bills field position and you turn the ball over, that's going to waste a lot of clock right there. So that's one thing. The over-under for the Pittsburgh Steelers right now is 15.5 for a team total. I like the under on that team total. It's tough for me to see them getting higher than 13 points. And again, this is a great bounce back spot for the Bills. I do think they can score, upwards of 30 points. Their over-under team total is right around 30. But, it's one of those games where I see the Pittsburgh Steelers going up quick. They go into the second half, maybe 24-3, maybe 27-7, something along those lines. I think they're going to come out quick, get this score up, and just coast the remainder of that second half. And because of that, it really does make me like this under 46.5. I see this game being like a 31-10, a 31-13, a 28-13, somewhere in that vicinity. Again, a lot of this has to do with the new quarterback, Kenny Pickett. What a difficult start, honestly, to face off against the Buffalo Bills, who have one of the better defenses in football, a great defensive line. The Pittsburgh Steelers offensive line can't protect the quarterback, and their defensive line can't get to the quarterback. So that's another thing on top of that. I think the Buffalo Bills will have the ability to run the football if they like. Sometimes they just abandon it. But still, Josh Allen can go outside the pocket. He can step up in the pocket, and he can get yards with his legs. I don't think it'll be a problem whatsoever. So I think the Bills can really milk this clock if they desire. And again, I like the under 46.5 in this spot. And if you like a under team total, I would take the Steelers under team total at 15.5 as well.
Great stuff from Moneyline Matt. Did I tell you, man, he's one of the sharpest guys in this business. I'm really honored to share a panel with him a couple of times a week. He says under there, he gave you a bonus play, Steelers team total. Great stuff from Moneyline Matt. Guys, after this show, go over. Take advantage of those customer appreciation discounts that no other brand on the planet has with Sportsmemo. Go follow Moneyline Matt. You're going to follow him to the bank. This is some really great stuff, and I really do. It's amazing. Guys, real quick, closing comments or thoughts from our panel. It is we just lost our Pauly real quick. Closing thoughts from our panel for our viewers out there. Rocky, Atkinson, any final words?
Looking forward to another huge weekend, hopefully, Joe. 75% college football last week. Got 2 college football plays Saturday. Perfect so far. NFL regular season. 2 NFL plays Sunday. Loaded now. Ready to roll.
Great stuff. Great stuff. Great stuff. Let's go over closing thoughts or comments. Our good buddy Eric Pauly. Eric, closing thoughts or comments for the weekend for our viewers.
Yeah, no, just everybody, best of luck. I always package my Sunday plays into one so you can get everything all access, and certainly make sure you take advantage of what Joe, Rocky, and Matt have to offer.
Great stuff. I love him. I love Eric Pauly, man. He just, every time I share a panel with him, makes my day. Our good buddy Moneyline Matt, we're going to get some closing thoughts and comments, but, I want to do a shout out. He gave a shout out to Ronald Kabang. We love Ronald, I've been a fan of his since he came out with that hit, Shebang, Shebang. We love Ronald. He's great. Big shout out to Moneyline Matt, too. Eric's doing quite a bit of content. So is Rocky here at Sports Memo. They're taking on some other shows. I do know that this is an NFL show, but a little birdie told me, and I'm sorry, I got to do an exclusive. It's my show. Moneyline Matt will be doing some stuff with Ronald during the NBA season. So be on the lookout for that. We're right around the corner from the NBA. And Moneyline Matt and Ronald, 2 of the best guys in NBA there is. They're going to be doing some stuff on Sports Memo TV. Be on the lookout for that. Other than that, guys, that's it for us. I have to go pay a fine for cursing on the air, but you know what? Like I said, better to ask for forgiveness than beg for permission. All right, guys, don't forget to tune in to all Sports Memo TV's amazing content. Hit that subscribe button to get a reminder. You don't want to miss any of our cappers, free winners, or betting insights. Thank you for tuning in, folks. Remember, increase your chances of making a profit. Follow the best collection of cappers anywhere on the planet here at Sports Memo, because we don't go gambling, we go winning. My friends, on behalf of Sports Memo, Rocky, Eric, Matt, and me, Joe D'Amico, everyone out there, good luck and have a winning day.